Alright, so let's solve some trig equations. Find all the solutions in 0 to 2 pi. 1 minus 2 cosine of x equals 0. So the first thing I need to do is use algebra and isolate the cosine of x. So subtract 1 from both sides. And then divide both sides by a negative 2 to eliminate this right here. So divide by negative 2, and on the right side the two negatives are going to cancel, and it says, when does cosine equal a half? So for me, I like to take a look at the picture, just draw what cosine looks like, and then on the y-axis right here is 1/2. And by the way, on the x-axis, this is one full cycle, so it's going from 0 to 2 pi on the x-axis. And then, when does cosine equal a half? So if you draw a line straight across, you'll see there's 2 times when cosine is equal to half. So there's one answer right here, and one answer right here. In order to get the first answer, you can use the calculator. And so from this line right here, take cosine inverse of both sides, and x equals cosine inverse of a half is going to be the first solution. So use a calculator, and cosine inverse of 1/2 is equal to the decimal 1.047. But that's probably pi over something, or some fraction of pi. To find out what fraction, you divide that by pi and ask the calculator, what fraction is that? So it's 1/3. So in other words, we just got the answer x equals pi over 3. That would be this solution right here. So the calculator, when you do the cosine inverse or sine inverse, it will give you the answer closest to the origin. All other answers you need to find yourself. So for this second solution right here, notice that it's to the left of 2 pi, and also the graph is symmetric. So if this on the left is a length of pi over 3, then over here this is also a length of pi over 3. So that means that this solution is to the left of 2 pi. So if you take 2 pi and go to the left, that means subtract pi over 3. Then get a common denominator, so multiply the bottom by 3 and multiply the top by 3. So this would be 6 pi over 3 minus 1 pi. That's going to be 5 pi over 3. So it seems we have the two solutions, pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. Then I just want to use the graphic calculator and check. So graph the original problem, so always go back to the original and graph that over the interval from 0 to 2 pi. So change the window, 0 to 2 pi, and then the y values I'm using, -2 to +4. And here's the graph of the original function. So the question said, when is it equal 0? So that is, when is it crossing the x-axis? So this one right here should be pi over 3. So go to trace, and then second pi over 3. And sure enough, that's the x-intercept. And notice that it says y equals 0. And then check 5 pi over 3. And sure enough, that one is correct also. So there are the two solutions.